worst thing you've ever been blamed for? When I was 10 years old, my father made me deliver my baby brother in our bathroom. That brother survived, but not all of them would. My parents belonged to a religious movement that believed hospitals interfered with God's plan for birth. Dad led our local chapter and made me his assistant because he said children's hands were blessed with innocence. What he really meant was that if something went wrong, it was easier to blame a child than admit his beliefs were culling people. My training started with delivering other families' babies while Dad supervised, teaching me to check dilation and turn breech babies with my small fingers. By the time Mom got pregnant again when I was 11, I'd delivered 14 babies successfully. Dad praised me at church, calling me God's littlest midwife, while I stood there knowing one mistake would make me a murderer in their eyes. When Mom went into labor with my brother Isaac, Dad had me check her progress every hour. After 20 hours, she was exhausted and Isaac's heartbeat was weakening. I begged Dad to call an ambulance, but he grabbed my shoulders and said if I didn't have faith, the baby would feel it. His life is in your hands, he said. Don't you dare let doubt enter this room. Isaac was born blue and silent after 36 hours. I tried everything to save him while Dad prayed over us. When he finally took my dead brother from me, the first thing he said was, "Your fear killed him. God can't work through faithless hands." The church held a funeral where Dad preached about faithless children who let doubt poison God's miracles. I was 12 years old, banned from attending births, carrying the weight of a dead baby in hands that had only tried to help. Mom got pregnant again when I was 14. Dad didn't want me involved, but she went into labor early while he was at a church conference 2 states away. He called me, his voice deadly calm, and said this was my chance at redemption. Save this baby and God forgives Isaac. Fail again and you'll answer for 2 souls. I could see the cord was wrapped wrong, but I didn't have the tools or knowledge to fix it. My sister Faith lived for 3 minutes while Dad listened on the phone. His silence was worse than screaming. When he finally spoke, he just said, "We'll discuss your punishment when I get home." At the church meeting, he detailed my failures in front of 40 people. They prayed over me for hours, trying to cast out whatever demon made my hands bring death instead of life. After Faith died, Dad's solution was to have others assist while I watched from the corner, forbidden from helping even in emergencies. When Sister Catherine's baby got stuck and she begged for my small hands that had turned dozens of breech babies, Dad physically held me back. 3 more babies died that year while I watched silently. When I turned 16, Mom got pregnant one last time at 43. Dad kept me locked in my room during her labor, but after 18 hours, I heard screaming that wasn't normal. I broke down my door and found her hemorrhaging while the church women prayed. I delivered the baby alive, but Mom had been bleeding too long. She died holding my hand, whispering that she loved me. Dad pulled me away and declared to everyone that I'd killed her by interfering with God's plan. 3 babies and now their mother, he announced, the devil's own daughter. The baby survived, but Dad banned me from touching him. I became a ghost in my own house while Dad raised Samuel with church women who crossed themselves when I passed. For 2 years, I lived like that, while Dad preached about how one doubting child had brought God's judgment on an entire bloodline. Then I heard Dad on the phone with another church member whose pregnant wife had complications. After 2 years of calling me cursed, Dad wanted me to deliver their baby because my hands were still the best for difficult births. If anything went wrong, they'd blame me. If the baby lived, it would prove Dad's power to redeem even the fallen. 2 weeks later, Sister Rebecca went into labor early. I recognized the same complications that had killed Mom. I told Dad she needed a hospital or she'd die. He slapped me and said my faithlessness was already poisoning the birth, but I was 18 now, not 10. I called 911 while Dad screamed that I was murdering another baby. Rebecca survived because of emergency surgery, but Dad had recorded me defying him and calling outsiders. He showed the edited video at church, leaving out Rebecca's dying screams. The congregation voted unanimously to stone me for blasphemy. They gave me 3 days to prepare my soul. I ran that night, but the church's young men caught me at the river and dragged me back. They locked me in the basement where Dad had prepared my judgment. The congregation had already gathered stones in neat piles. Through the window, I could see them preparing the field. Dad came down one last time to explain that my execution would finally cleanse our community. 4 deaths on your hands, he said, but your death will sanctify them. He showed me the white dress they'd chosen for my stoning, the same one Mom had worn to give birth still stained with her blood. He locked the door behind him, leaving me to count the hours until sunrise when I would die in the same dress my mother did. Full story on the channel below.